Verses 16 through 18, coming down the home stretch here. Jesus says he who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug it in the ground and hid his master's money. Everybody say, uh-oh. You know this isn't going to end well. Well, what's the lesson here? God believes in me so much that he expects me to put my talents to work for him. And there's a couple takeaways here. I mean, the word traded literally means to work, to invest, to perform, to acquire by labor. And so the first truth I see in this is that God expects me to work straight out. And why is that important? Because it's my belief there's a lot of Christians who don't get that God expects them to work. They forget that discipline is a part of being a disciple. I mean, the word disciple literally means learning the discipline of the master. You say you're a disciple of Jesus, then that's what you're committed to. Jesus used the word training quite a bit to talk about what he was trying to accomplish in the disciples' lives. When a disciple is fully trained, Jesus told them, you'll be like your master. Paul picked up on that word, and he told Timothy, train yourself to be godly. It's so important that we understand this. A lot of believers live horribly undisciplined lives. And part of the problem is we've made modern-day discipleship soft and cuddly. No work required. Just let go and let God. The parable of the talents is here to rebuke us if we think that way. You think that just because you're saved by grace, not works, means that there's no work for you to do. You get to lay down in a hammock now while the angels bring you Dove chocolates or something. Could I have the dark chocolate, please? You know, the milk chocolates, no. No, that's not what Christianity is. You know what? I said that and I just remembered something. I have some Dove chocolates with me. Woo! I totally forgot about that. Oh, JR just said he's trying to do away with that, and I throw him a chocolate. Sorry, brother. Sorry. Lead me not into temptation. There's a second truth that comes through here in this section. God expects me to work, but he also expects me to be bold and take chances. The word traded includes the idea of risk. It's risky taking money and investing it. There are no guarantees. You might lose it. But I think this should be part of our service to God. Using our talents to serve God should always take us out of our comfort zone a little bit. I've seen a lot of Christians over the years in my time of ministry who quit at a ministry or stop doing something the moment it gets uncomfortable. The moment it's not convenient anymore. The moment it doesn't feel so good. Something's pinching here. That should not be our reflex. Yes, there's a time and place where you're trying an area of ministry and it's just not working out. It's not your gift mix. Fine. Lay it aside and find some other area. But what if God's trying to develop your character or grow you? And that's what the stretching is all about. Risk is part of the deal. It'll be risky if we are given the opportunity to do a long-term lease. That will come with risk for us. What if this? What if that? That becomes part of our prayers. And you can't even let failure stop you at first. I think I've told you this before, but my first sermon ever was in our church in England. We went to do some street evangelism. I didn't go to preach, but they let me preach. And my first sermon was a plane crash, a jet crash, a 747 crash in the side of a mountain. It was, that is no exaggeration. If you saw Apocalypse Now, it was a complete inferno, a mushroom cloud of bright orange flame and billowing black clouds of smoke. There were no survivors. It was that bad. Now, I could have quit right then. I could have said, this preaching's not for me, but God wouldn't let me. I knew that I could speak. I got A's in every speech class I ever took in high school and college. The church didn't let me quit either because they'd heard me speak in smaller settings. They knew something was wrong. What they didn't know is I hadn't prepared for that sermon. I was winging it. I was so full of myself by that time, I thought I could just stand up there in front of people and just let go and let God. And God said to me, disrespect me and my word, will you? Well, they gave me a second chance. And the next time I got in that pulpit, I was ready. I was prepared and prayed up. I did my work. And I entered that pulpit that next time with a proper sense of awe and reverence for who is a human. To think that they can stand and speak on behalf of the living God. And to this day, I bring that same sense of awe with me when I come up to share God's word. It's that holy to me.